This is a major championship. I mean, I'm going into it with the mindset that I'm focused on trying to win this golf tournament. So hasn't been on the top of my mind. I've been focused on competing and trying to do my best.
LIV Golf just dropped a bombshell, and Bryson DeChambeau could be the spark that sets it all off. What began as a routine policy update has quickly morphed into one of the most audacious power moves the golf world has ever witnessed. And what happened next? It left everyone completely stunned.
I respect everybody's opinions. I have no position on it. Again, for me, it was the best decision for me at that point in time, and still.
Behind the polished press releases and smiling interviews, a real battle for the soul of golf is underway, and Bryson's bold new plan could turn everything on its head. Starting in 2026, LIV Golf is taking its global game to a whole new level. Every new player joining the league will now be required to compete in 2 international series events on the Asian Tour, in addition to the full 14-event season. In simple terms, no more staying put in one corner of the world. If you want that LIV paycheck, you'd better be ready to jet off to Oman, Qatar, Bangkok, or wherever those private planes touch down. Greg Norman calls it a commitment to global growth, but critics see it differently. A clever move by LIV to tighten its control over the game while wrapping it in polished, appealing language.
I love them. I love them. Yeah, I love them. I love what they do. I still will hopefully continue to have conversations with the R&D team all the time. I've given them 5 or 6 different little things that have helped improve the golf ball, and hopefully we'll continue to do so. No, I respect it and understand everybody's position and the ties that everybody has.
At the very center of all this global upheaval stands Bryson DeChambeau. Once hailed as golf science-minded prodigy, the analytical genius who could turn the sport into a physics experiment, he has now become something entirely different, the unofficial frontman of LIV Golf. Those trips to Oman, Qatar, and other far-flung locations, they weren't random jaunts. They were part of a carefully orchestrated blueprint for LIV's worldwide expansion, a plan that could redefine professional golf as we know it. Bryson DeChambeau isn't merely a player anymore. He's the blueprint for LIV Golf's next evolution. The whispers around the golf world are impossible to ignore. Bryson's $150 million contract from 2022 is set to expire in late 2025, and insiders say he's aiming for a jaw-dropping $280 million extension. The initial reaction from LIV's investors was laughter, but this is no ordinary negotiation. The new LIV isn't about throwing money at talent. It's about building a legacy, shaping a brand, and cementing influence in a sport that once seemed untouchable. Bryson's potential new deal could be the ultimate test of whether LIV's bold vision is sustainable or simply a high-stakes gamble. But the drama goes beyond contracts and paychecks. LIV Golf's new international rule isn't just about travel or scheduling. It may very well be a clever workaround to secure world ranking points, a long-standing demand since 2022. By tying players to the Asian Tour structure, LIV could finally earn recognition in the official global rankings. If it works, Bryson's relentless worldwide grind flights, tournaments, and constant competition could provide him the edge he sought for years. It's a calculated risk, but one that reflects his ongoing quest for respect in a sport that once sidelined him. Now, the narrative has flipped. Bryson is no longer fighting for acceptance. He's shaping the game itself. The critics are vocal, of course. PGA loyalists roll their eyes at every LIV announcement, dismissing it as a last-ditch effort to gain legitimacy after years of rejection. Yet Bryson thrives in the chaos. At a U.S. Open press conference, he smirked confidently, declaring, "LIV's not going anywhere." His certainty was unshakable, and so was the whirlwind surrounding him. Every time he steps into a new country, a fresh wave of headlines follows. New rules, new controversies, new sparks. Golf, once polite and reserved, has become a global battlefield, and Bryson DeChambeau is at its eye. Flashback to June 2022. Bryson was America's golden prodigy, a powerhouse player blending athleticism with scientific precision. Then came the announcement that shook the sport to its core. He left the PGA Tour for LIV Golf. The move wasn't just a switch, it was a seismic shift. Overnight, Bryson transformed from golf's mad scientist into its most discussed, most polarizing figure. Timing was everything. LIV's Saudi-backed offers had already lured in legends like Dustin Johnson and Phil Mickelson, but Bryson's defection hit differently. Young, Fresh off a U.S. Open win, and seen as a sports poster boy, he left for what many considered unthinkable. The backlash was immediate and intense. Social media erupted. PGA Tour boss Jay Monahan suspended him, and sponsors like Rocket Mortgage cut ties instantly. The headlines were relentless. Criticism poured in from every corner, with even Rory McIlroy calling out LIV players for duplicity. When Bryson attempted to calm the storm with his now infamous CNN comment, "Nobody's perfect, only fuel the fire," crowds booed him at tournaments. Protest signs followed him across cities. The pressure was unlike anything golf had seen in decades. But here's the twist. Bryson didn't collapse under the scrutiny. He came back louder, stronger, and unapologetically unfiltered. Inside LIV's high-energy, no-cut tour, Bryson found a chaotic freedom. No early eliminations, no old-school restrictions, just booming drives, massive payout, and endless entertainment. He began winning again, stacking titles, and building a massive social media presence. His YouTube content, from long drive experiments to behind-the-scenes locker room moments, racked up millions of views. By 2025, the initial firestorm had cooled, and Bryson's team had become a fan favorite. He was no longer just a rebel. He was a leader, shaping golf's next era. Still, the traitor label lingered, whispered by some fans even as he lifted trophies. Bryson's response was simple. He smiled, swung, and proved he was rewriting his legacy one drive at a time. The irony is remarkable. The same PGA Tour had once tried to push him out. Now, Bryson is the loudest heartbeat of live golf. The mad scientists have become the league symbol of bold innovation in a world that thrives on chaos. He turned criticism into branding, headlines into fuel, and controversy into content. Live golf's new rules aren't just about travel or Asian Tour points, they're a declaration. Bryson is both the bridge and the spark, connecting golf's traditional roots to its unpredictable, high-octane future. By 2023, tensions between LIV and the PGA escalated into full-blown legal warfare. Bryson's suspension wasn't enough. The old guard wanted him erased. But Bryson fought back with a landmark antitrust lawsuit, accusing the PGA of monopolistic practices disguised as tradition. The PGA countered, labeling LIV a flashy distraction trying to rewrite history. Gone were golf's polite, measured days. Court battles, public drama, and media storms replaced a calm, khaki-clad era. A fragile truce, the so-called framework agreement, did little to resolve the conflict. By 2025, merger talks had stalled completely. Bryson remained banned from PGA events, despite world-class performances. Live players face a stark message. Ride with Live, and you're out of traditional golf for life. Bryson's attempt to qualify for major PGA-affiliated events were blocked, often under euphemisms like awkward or politics over performance. Yet he didn't stay quiet. He built his own lane, swinging harder and smarter, using setbacks as leverage and strategy. The online battle was just as fierce. PGA loyalists mocked him, competitors taunted, and social media exploded with debates. Yet through it all, Bryson remained unshaken. Viral tweets, memes, and bold statements kept him in the spotlight, turning potential setbacks into tools for growth. Every jab, every protest, every headline fueled his empire. By 2025, Bryson was golf's ultimate influencer-athlete hybrid, a blend of rebel energy, content creation, and athletic dominance. He was no longer chasing approval. He was commanding attention, visibility, and respect. LIV Golf's 2026 international rulebook only amplified the chaos. Mandatory global events, the Asian Tour Alliance, and worldwide fan engagement created a stage perfectly suited for Bryson. While other players complied, he leveraged unique contract clauses, cementing his position as both a top performer and a strategic power broker. His influence extended beyond performance, shaping the future of the sport itself. The Ryder Cup, intended as a symbol of unity, became the ultimate test. Bryson, despite earning points, was excluded due to PGA politics. He attended dinners, smiled for cameras, and maintained his presence, yet watched from the sidelines as teammates competed. The optics were brutal. America's loudest rebel sideline on his own turf. Still, Bryson turned the moment into theater, remaining calm, confident, and defiant. "I'm willing to play," he declared. They're the ones refusing to come together. His words, simple yet sharp, resonated louder than any swing. Media storms followed. Commentary, opinion, and outrage poured in. But Bryson's support network remained strong, with figures like Colin Morikawa and Brooks Koepka backing him. Fans were divided, half chanting USA, half whispering traitor, but Bryson thrived on attention. Every smile, every wave, every swing became a statement. He was no longer just a golfer. He was a headline, a movement, a symbol of a changing sport. Social media amplified his influence. Viral moments, memes, and YouTube content turned controversies into engagement. Even critics couldn't look away. Bryson had transformed from the sport's most criticized player into its loudest, most dynamic presence. Live tournaments became festivals, booming music, cheering fans, and his signature smirk. From viral putt standoffs to behind-the-scenes chaos, Bryson turned every interaction into content, engagement, and brand growth. By 2025, Bryson's influence had grown to unprecedented levels. His controversies became opportunities. His critics fueled his rise, and his brand extended beyond golf into a global cultural phenomenon. He became a living embodiment of LIV Golf's vision, bold, unapologetic, and unstoppable. The rules, rankings, and political battles were secondary. Bryson had redefined the game, proving that chaos, strategy, and performance could coexist. As his 2025 contract neared its end, speculation about his next move dominated headlines. Would he remain with LIV, negotiate a record-breaking extension, or attempt to return to the PGA? Bryson's answer was clear: I'm not done yet. LIV's not going anywhere, and neither am I. This wasn't arrogance, it was strategy. LIV wasn't just a paycheck. It was a platform, a stage for influence and legacy. Bryson had transformed his story from exile to empire, from prodigy to global frontman. With LIV Golf's 2026 international expansion underway, Bryson stands at the center of a global movement. The sport is evolving, louder, faster, more global, and unapologetically chaotic. Bryson DeChambeau is no longer just a golfer. He is the prototype for the modern athlete, competitor, creator, influencer, and headline maker all in one. Golf will never be quiet again. It is Bryson's era, and the game is louder, bolder, and more unpredictable than ever. From being the sport's most criticized player to its global frontman, Bryson DeChambeau has not just survived the storm, he has owned it. Every swing, every headline, every controversy has built his legacy. Golf is no longer predictable or reserved. It is alive, global, and vibrant. Bryson didn't just play the game, he transformed it. And the world is watching.